I tripled my pressing strength in 30 days using just one exercise, the kettlebell armbar. And throughout this experiment, I used two exercises to test. One is handstand push-up, and two is the bench press. A few weeks ago, I tested my bench press max with Nathan Baxter, which you'll see later on. And at the end of the video, you'll find out exactly where I failed. But first, I have not done a handstand push-up in a long time, well before since I dislocated my shoulder. So I don't even know if I could actually do one these days. So I've got to test that first. For this, I used bands to help me incrementally add more load. And as I got closer and closer to body weight, then it was a matter of increasing the range with full body weight. I eventually got my head to the ground. And if you've been following me on the socials and on YouTube, you would have seen my last video with Nathan Baxter, bench press legend, who schooled me on how to bench press. And one thing that he mentioned during that session was that arm bars would be a really beneficial exercise to get a better bench press. So first day today, starting with a 20 kilo kettlebell. Let's get into it. Through this process, I'm only giving myself 3 rules that I have to stick to. Number 1 is I can only accumulate 3 minutes under the kettlebell on each side. Number 2 is I cannot do any other pushing movements while I'm working out or in the gym, or anything that pressing wise might be able to add to my bench press strength at the end of the 30 days. And number 3, I cannot practice handstand push-ups in any form. What you'll see here is the 3rd minute of each day that I've done the arm bar. And you'll see me doing this at home and at the gym, and even sometimes with my girls running around. And that's not necessarily advisable. Them bumping you accidentally or deliberately is a little bit risky. If you're not experienced with the arm bar, I highly recommend not doing this around kids or pets. In a couple of days, you'll see I even wrote my clients into doing it with me. The results were a big surprise for me because traditionally, when you think about getting stronger at pressing, the simple answer is to press more. And although the armbar involves an element of pressing the bell out, it's more of a pulling action to pull your arm behind you and keep the bell there so it doesn't fall on your head. And it was about this halfway point in the experiment that I started exploring going heavier, so 24 kilo bell instead of 20. At one point I even got up to the 28 kilos for a few days, but this ended up just being too heavy and my shoulders ended up just feeling too junky and not strong at all. So I went back down to the 24 and then finished off by experimenting with some dumbbells and some barbells just to mix it up. And one of the greatest benefits of doing the armbar that not many people would know about is just spending more time on the ground in this rotated position. My spine actually felt the best it has in a very long time, and there's definitely some benefits there for not just shoulders but also an overall spine health. So today is the last day of the 30 days of kettlebells, and what I'm going to do, which wasn't really part of the plan, I'm going to be testing 20, 24, 28, 32 kilos and just seeing how far I get to. As you can see by now, I'm up to the 36, which was feeling really good. So I decided to dust off my old 40 kilos and give that a shot. So I know the most that I have ever done on my right shoulder, which is my strong shoulder, was 10 seconds with the 40, and that was years ago. And it was a max effort. It was like full on. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. One of the really good things that has happened over the last 30 days is obviously just the armbar has gotten easier to do, more stable, more confident, just knowing the movement and building on that. One of the bad things or one of the negatives that I've noticed is I haven't done any other prep work. So my shoulders have just gotten to a point where they feel junky, and even with going heavier and heavier more consistently, they just feel junky. So that's definitely been a negative association with just doing one exercise and no other prep work to help. So that was pretty gnarly on the right side. It was pretty comfortable, pretty strong. Yeah, just the whole blood flow through the forearm and the hand was the issue. On the left arm, which I've only recently noticed, is I have some scar tissue left over from when I broke my arm when I was younger. So straight away, the pain where the kettlebell was resting was the biggest concern for me. Okay, so today's the day. We're gonna be testing out to see whether 30 days of arm bars has improved my bench press strength. And we follow the same process as we originally did when I was doing it with Nathan, in terms of just starting off with the bar and then incrementally increase the load until I can't do it anymore. Today I don't have a spotter with me, so this is going to be interesting to see where I get to and where I fail. So let's get into it. At this point, I knew I was up shit creek and there was going to be no pretty way of getting out of this. Fail at 87.5. So disappointed that I didn't get to what I expected, but super happy that after just 30 days of nothing but arm bars, I was still able to be as strong, and if not stronger, in the bench press than when I first tested 30 days ago. Next up, I tested the handstand push-up, and I didn't expect much because of the result of the bench press wasn't a huge result. So here I was actually really surprised that I was able to push out 3 reps, which is 2 more than I did at the start. And what this really highlighted for me is that having stronger scapular control does make you stronger at pressing. And if you have enjoyed watching this video, check out some of my other videos and hit subscribe, give us a like. Love your comments, love your feedback. And these days, I'm all about testing my body with what works and what doesn't, and sharing that with you guys, so hopefully you get some benefit from it, so that you can have more knowledge, more insight into going and doing what you're doing, and know that, well, what's gonna make you better, and hopefully not doing what's gonna make you worse at the end of the day. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay strong.